So, you want a full-size tactical Tanto with a titanium pocket clip and a finger-safe lock that is strong enough to pull double duty as both your EDC and a backup beef jerky defense knife. Oh, and you want it for less than $100. First, has anybody told you that you're very demanding? But second, Orion Knives has you covered. Today we're going to look at the Ares, and you're going to see how it ticks all those boxes and somehow comes in at only $80. Stick around. What it do, Kripple Krew? EDC with DBD, disabled but deadly. And by that intro, you may have thought that I was talking about the PM2 Tanto rendition until I got to that titanium pocket clip and sub $100 price point. But the knife we're looking at today ticks all of those boxes for only $80. Before I show you that, make sure that you've stabbed that like button / subscribe and that you bash that bell so that you get notified of all future videos, live streams, and of course the upcoming giveaways. So, what we are going to be looking at today is the Orion Knives Ares, named for the Greek god of war, and definitely built to put in some heavy duty work. This is the Orion Ares. What you are looking at here is an overall length of 8 1/4 inches with a 3.58 inch 14C28N drop point American Tanto with a compound hollow and flat grind in 14C28N with a great blackwash finish. You can also get this in a satin finish or in an OD green and blackwash. Our close length is 4.73 inches, and our blade stock thickness looks to be right about 125 thousandths. It is not listed. 120 to 125 thousandths is what my, my calipeepers would say. The action on this is the knife is deployed with the fuller for either the thumb or reverse flick. Very snappy action, easily a 5-finger flick knife because of that detent. It is closed via the pivot actuated wedge lock. So this is a button lock for finger safe deployment or closing action. You can also, of course, open it with that button lock. But this button actuates a liner that wedges. It's got a pretty, I'm trying to see if I can get the light in there. It's on the side of the button. It's not really, this black is not really helping. Let's see, there we go. Let it focus there, and you can see that liner drop out of the way. Let's pop that liner back up. There we go. So that liner, as you can see, the shape of it there, it wedges in underneath the tang of the blade, or underneath the stop pin and over the tang of the blade. And then we have the top of the tang of the blade coming into contact with that very wide stop pin. So we do have rock solid lockup left to right and up and down. But when you press that button, it immediately closes. That liner moves out of the way and it closes very smoothly every time. Now, as you can hear, there is definitely a bit of button stick at the moment. I haven't added any oil to the liner at all there, or the pivot area. I'm guessing a little bit of KPL in the pivot area would probably help get rid of that. But I have talked to several folks who own this knife, and they say that that does work itself out, and it's a very smooth and rock solid lockup. Because of the generous real estate on the handle. As you can see, I can get a full 4-finger grip behind the pivot with plenty of room with my hands, and I wear an extra large size glove. So if you wore 2X, 3X, you can easily get a grip on this full-size knife. I can choke right up behind the blade if I want to get some nice control into cuts. With that drop point, it's very easy to use either the primary or secondary tip in a utility cut for opening packages or getting in for some precision style work. It's also, because of the way this handle is, it's quite comfortable in a pinch grip. And again, I can use either the primary or secondary tip. It's quite easy to turn around, or quite comfortable to turn around if I want to cut some straps. And even if I'm right over that button, when I squeeze, I'm not pressing that button at all. The way that it's situated, I don't feel myself putting any pressure on the button. In a beef jerky Avenger grip, I am capped off on the butt of the handle, and this texture on the G10 does make it feel like I'm not going to slide on any beef jerky juice. And if I flip it around to a beef jerky Defender grip, I'm definitely locked in, and now I can feel that pocket clip in my hand. This is not going anywhere. I can choke back if I need some reach on this. Very, very, I mean, it's pretty neutral in design, but it's also very useful. And this swell here on the top and bottom does help lock me in if I was thrusting, so that I'm not going to slide up on that blade at all. Which is nice, since there isn't any jimping up here, which I would like to see some jimping. I can lock my thumb in right back here if I had to thrust and not worry about sliding on the knife at all. Our pocket clip is a milled pocket clip that is not quite deep carry. It does leave a bit to grab sticking out of the pocket, but it is inset and reversible. So the way that this is set up, even with only one screw, it doesn't move at all. And it is reversible, but it looks like you could also rock a wire clip or a Lynch Northwest Spyderco wire clip replacement if you wanted to throw a titanium deeper carry clip on there. Let's do a quick hardware check. And we are looking at, love to see it, T8 body screws, T8 on that pocket clip screw, T8 on that pocket clip screw, T8 pivot. Awesome. Great work. David from Orion Knives, he's been in the knife game for quite a while. And this is definitely, it's all T8 hardware. Love to see that. Less likely to strip than T6s. Let's talk about this blade. First, this is one of my favorite blade shapes for EDC, because you get the usefulness of an American Tanto with a straight edge here, you know, a nice strong piercing tip, but I love it when you've got the drop point that brings the tip lower than the center line of the pivot. Makes it not only great for piercing and puncturing, but very easy to get it down to use. A lot more than, say, a Japanese style straight backed Tanto. That hollow grind in the flat portion, if I grab a non-shredded piece of paper, probably slices a lot better. This has been through several reviewers, and I can see that this 14C needs a stropping. But the nice thing is, it is 14C 28N, so this will strop back very well, and it's easy to sharpen. I am going to strop this before I send it off, but 14C 28N is going to be one of the easiest steels to maintain yourself. You can bring it to a very wicked sharp edge, plus it's very easy to strop up in between sharpenings. It's also very tough, which is nice if this is your tactical blade, and corrosion resistant. Of course, typical disclaimer, we recommend fixed blades for any type of beef jerky defense, but not everybody carries fixed blades, and you use what's on you. And if you're going to use a folder, you want to use one that is built strong and has a solid lock that you can trust. Because of the flat grind out at the tip, it does carry a lot of strength out there so that you do have plenty of piercing power. But this hollow brings it nice and thin down here behind the edge. If I was going to nitpick or complain, and I guess this isn't a nitpick because they should be doing better by now. Our plunge grind starts right here and it ends directly where our sharpening choil ends. So you've got one sharpening on this before that you start to hit that plunge grind and widen up. So I would definitely want to cut a sharpening choil into this, and luckily, because of where the stop pin lands, the stop pin in the closed position lands way back here, so it's not going to affect anything if you cut in a sharpening choil. Now let's compare it to some other folding knives in the full-size tactical category, like that PM2 and the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and the Orion Ares are almost the exact same length. How about the Cold Steel 8015, another folding knife that I would definitely trust my life on. And the 8015 is slightly larger than the Orion Ares. How about another awesome tactical Tanto with a finger-safe and strong lock? This is the 8015 3V Tanto, and it's going to come in a fair bit shorter than the Orion. So what you're looking at is a knife that's almost the exact same size as a PM2 with some really good ergos, nice tight tolerances, definitely centered, a very strong finger safe lock, and all for 80 bucks. I really think that they killed it with this knife. I do plan on getting one of my own. I want to get the green and black. I like the texture that they've done on their G10. You've got pretty much the standard peel ply here, but even the chamfered edges are textured and feel good, help grip. The liners on the inside, the steel liners, are milled for weight reduction. We have a mid-length G10 backspacer that does wrap around. This knife is packing quite a bit of value for 80 bucks. I do not have an affiliate link. I don't believe they're doing affiliate discounts or codes yet, actually, with Orion. I could be wrong. But even though I'm not affiliated with this company in any way, I'm going to say that it's a knife I plan on adding to the collection. I really appreciate EDC for putting his personal one into the pass around so that we could check it out. And now that I have seen it, it's definitely a knife that will get added to the collection in the future. I look at this along the lines as a good budget alternative to a PM2. Again, I'm not saying it's as good as a PM2 when I say stuff like that. I'm saying budget alternative. This is a very well-built knife for the price that you're getting it at. So it's less than half the price of a PM2. If you don't like the looks of a paramilitary 2, or it's just out of your budget, take a look at the Orion Ares. Now, being a pass-around knife, I'm going to give you the disclaimer that this didn't get put through any deep testing. It has been carried in my pocket. I have used it. I have banged on this, done a little bit of spine whacking, not a lot, because hardcore spine whacking is just ridiculous. That's not what a knife's about. but I did want to see how this wedge pivot actuated wedge lock felt and held up. And I think that they do have a winner on their hands. One thing that I do want to point out right quick, you get a limited lifetime warranty with the Orion Ares, and I like that this card has the blowout so that when you're looking at it, if you take this knife apart, it's real easy to put back together. So if you want to pause and take a look at that there, there's no reason to be scared of the new lock or the new name of the knife company. Because like I said, David been around for a long time. He knows what he's doing. I believe QSP is the manufacturer on this knife, and they nailed it. I'd like to know your thoughts on this knife below. Do you already own the Ares? Is it one that you're looking at picking up? I hope everybody has a killer day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Stay safe, stay frosty, and most importantly, stay deadly.